But I think we need to say thanks to the most important person here today. None of this would be possible at the quality and the level that it happened without Casey. Casey, round of applause. Somewhere there's a beer with your name on.
Next up, we're going to bring out Tim. And I was just commenting to Tim before that it seemed to me, I mean, everything that I observed inside the game, that it was an extremely stable environment. And I was like, Tim, what happened? Usually there's carnage, there's devices failing, which totally mimics the real world.
A couple of the teams were crying, and I'm like, well, Tim's gone soft. This isn't nearly as bad as it usually is.
And there was some failures, but the environment was extremely stable. So here to give you an update on scoring and such.
No, not scores yet.
Not scores yet.
These words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom from Tim. It's like... What's the Jack Candy? Reflections.
Reflections by Jack Candy.
Yes, Reflections with Tim. Big round of applause for Tim.
Yeah, you're kind.
Tim will be also giving some diving lessons later.
Right?
Those are fabulous.
Dude, I'm telling you, all you kids be wearing these soon. It's all the rage. I'll keep my comments brief, right?
Compliments from an old man.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. I was told I have 5 minutes. There we go. 5 minutes. I'm tired. How you all doing? You're done. Come on. Okay, you guys just can't howl for 5 minutes. That's my time. Anyway, the 18-year-old bottle of scotch has gone unclaimed, which means I'll be drinking it alone. No one cried. Actually, the person who was about to cry was me, because if I had to rebuild one more damn ASA server firewall, really, guys? Come on. Back up your stuff. Back up your stuff. Anyway. So, hey, well done. Everyone has acquitted themselves honorably. We had to do no serious forcible evictions. Everyone was pretty much mostly well-behaved. Red cell followed the rules. Blue cell mostly followed the rules. You did well. You did really well. Has anyone decided that information security is not a career you want to go into now? So you don't have to.
The red team's hands all went up.
We're done.
No.
Real quick, I really don't have any words of wisdom because you guys are fried and I just make this stuff up anyway. So what I do want to do is while I'm here, and there's no way even given 50 minutes, I would have time to say thank you to all the people who made this possible. Huge crew, massive amount of volunteers, just unbelievable. The number of person hours that have gone into this event shows everything just came off without a hitch. Most of the crew has been here all week. We've all put in incredibly long hours. Those of you who saw the lovely woman and the 2 little kiddos with me, my wife and kids, I know they're not watching. They're having fun by the pool, which is where I hope to be soon. But I want to say thank you to them and all their support. We work hard. We do a lot of traveling. And these are very, very long hours, and I'm a little bit grumpy when I get home. So, Dwight, are you in the room? Thomas? Two-Fail? You guys here? No, just Thomas? Everyone say hi, Thomas. Hi, Thomas. These guys especially put up a lot of crap for me. We've traveled over 100,000 miles last year doing these events all around the globe, and I am not I heard that. Airplanes and airports are 2 of my least favorite things to be in, so good job for all of them. All of you who came out and decided to take a huge risk on camera, and in Radford's case, in color. See, on film, there's no hiding from these guys. Now one can be like, well, no, that wasn't our school. Well, yeah, it was. Millersville, also in uniform. So, round of applause to you all for taking the plunge, coming out. It takes a certain amount of bravery to step out onto this playing field, knowing that you're gonna get abused in public, on camera, and recorded forever.
If you're interested in that, we're looking for more interns for Paul.com Security Weekly.
So I'm at 3 minutes and 25 seconds. I'm kind of running out of thank yous to say. Also to our sponsors. They contributed time and money and resources to make all of this happen. So all of you that sponsored, please stand up if you're in the room, or if you're online watching, let's give them a round of applause. And one last shameless plug for the organization in the hacker community, Hackers for Charity. If you don't know about them, find out about them. It's a good crew. It's a good opportunity to get involved in a much larger world than just the seat you're sitting in. So Google it. You'll be well. Any comments from me? Questions?
Actually, he mimicked that really close. It's like he's practiced.
I got skills. I went to grad school, man. I got mad skills. That was your time off. Is it? No, wait. I got 27 seconds. But anyway, once again, thank you all very much. Safe travels home, and I'll give you back to your hosts.
Yeah. Alrighty. So next up, this has to be one of my favorite parts of the competition. I just, for some reason, I really love when the CEO has to interview the captains of the blue team and have this real-world conversation. I think for a lot of us, especially myself, those of you that watch the podcast may know that, you know, when I walk into the executive's room, I kind of turn that stuff off, and I'm able to speak their language. But it's not easy to be in the technical details and in the trenches like everyone was here, and then take all that information and dispel it up for a C-level executive. So one of my favorite parts, and Kostas does a great job. Come on up and tell us all about it.
Thanks. You guys were great this year. I was asked a couple of times this afternoon, so what did I think about your performance? And here's my take. First of all, in the first round, when I basically asked you to tell me how things are and what happened, you were far better than any other year that I've playrolled the CEO. You came prepared to do this mental mapping from your boxes and machines to the business attitudes of the company. You did very well. On the second round, when you came back to deliver what I asked you, you didn't do as well. And every year, and we talk about it, it's kind of funny. What went wrong? You didn't listen to what I told you. Just about no one took notes. You know, taking notes is okay. In fact, it's encouraged. So take notes, because I asked you for two specific things for most of you, and I was very detailed in terms of what I expected, and I wanted to also be fair and ask the same thing of all the teams. Some of you came back and didn't do what you were asked. That's simple, but in life, it matters. The third thing is spell check is your friend. Be able to articulate both verbally and in writing what you feel, what you want to say. You are very, very smart, all of you. But unless you can convince someone who doesn't understand what you do, then you will not appear to be smart, and you want to appear to be smart. Those are kind of very quick, non-substantive things. I had one more, which I want to tell you about. I wrote it down, actually. One last thing. Getting an interview with the CEO is almost an impossibility for someone who grovels in cybersecurity. It almost never happens. When it happens, it's a magical moment. Take advantage of it. If you're in a job one day and you get called up to the top floor to go talk about X or Y or Z, and you get given a particular topic, never mind the topic. Say a few more things. Offer some ideas of your own. Because that linkage with the CEO is kind of magical. You're not going to get it too many times. So when you do, seize the opportunity and use it to your advantage. So those are some comments I wanted to offer to you. You all did a great job. I had my own favorites, and we'll see how they do in the final score. Every year I try to see how many of the top scorers for me also came up top scorers in the full competition. So I'll let you know after the results are decided. Congratulations once again. I had a great time. I learn every year, so thanks.
Thanks, Costas. All right.
So I don't.
It's not working. Oh, there we go.
I don't know about you, John, but what do you like to talk about with the CEO? For me, it's golf, cigars, and Bloomberg. I don't know. That's just me. So next up, we're going to bring up Larry and Darren. Of course, both part of the Paul.com crew. We're very happy to be one big happy family here on the Paul.com crew every week doing our podcast together. And I couldn't think of two better people to do the badge competition portion for the past 3 years. It's just been awesome. First was the RFID, then there was the power meter, and now the medicine dispensaries, which was just, it was fantastic. And like I always say, especially about Larry, since day one when I met him, anything that is electronic, that you leave in front of Larry while you turn your head, when your head comes back around to look at it, he's got his Leatherman out and it's in 8 million pieces. And that's just the way Larry rolls.
What warranty?
Yes. Yeah, almost
he voids
completely
warranties
guaranteed.
with no regard for public safety.
But guys, come on up here real quick, though.
Like, yeah, come on up here.
Leave
oh,
my
hey, look,
phone
John's cell phone.
Guys, come on up here,
He's taking
though.
it apart.
But, you know, you've probably seen the stickers and stuff, but this is Paul.com Security Weekly.
Wait, where's Carlos?
Without Carlos, and we're also missing
Jack.
Jack, but they couldn't be here because they have jobs. So I guess we're the unemployed.
Wait, what?
Real jobs.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
what?
No, you're not employed.
Well, I also want to say I love the badges, and I believe this was Darren's idea to make up these Flava Flav, which I'm a big fan, huge fan.
Most certainly was.
Yeah.
And also, if you guys want to make an impact in the security community, a lot of people are going into things like exploit dev. Hardware hacking and doing this stuff, I think, Larry, Darren, you guys would agree, there's just not enough people doing it, and it's a blast.
It reminds everyone that 911 really is a joke, I think is what we're saying.
All right, you guys ready? You got your stuff up?
Yep.
Oh, that's...
There's the back of my head.
There's the back of my head. It looks good. It's my better side. I'm just going to do it like this because this is my good side, right? Yeah. Oh.
We could look at that and look forward.
Oh.
Oh, look.
Oh, hey, look.
Down there.
It's almost like we've done this before.
Can you tell we're stalling, waiting for them to make sure the slides are all
Waiting
set?
for these slides to load.
Okay.
They were up for just a second. They couldn't get things
Oh,
working.
3, 2, 1. Disco.
And...
Going once. Going
Buffering,
twice.
buffering,
Sold.
buffering.
Wait.
There we go. I'm going to move this out of the way.
Go ahead, John.
Okay. All right, so
ahead,
we're going
guys.
to give you the secrets revealed of this year's badge, and well, this is going to be interesting because I also can't see the slides, but we'll figure it out. Okay, so the secrets revealed. So first off, what did you guys think? Oh, wow. Did it suck? Was it good? Thank you.
They're tired.
Thank you. Hope you liked them. You guys were all awesome. You had great ideas. You were a pleasure to work with. We had loads of fun doing this, both building it and being here with you all to make this a reality. If you haven't figured it out already, the boxes are yours to keep, and, well, whatever candy happens to be left in them. Yeah, I know. Sorry. Bad joke, right? Yeah. Go see the red team.
Yeah, I was going to say, see red team. They might have a few pieces.
IOU. Yeah, I heard about some IOUs in a box. So yeah, you guys get to keep the Arduino, the barcode reader, the modified barcode readers for 5 volts as opposed to the 12-volt RS-232, the wireless Wi-Fi shield, the servos, the miscellaneous LEDs, all that type of stuff. So they are yours to keep. I'm encouraged to see what you guys are going to do with them. What you guys put in them now and secure them is entirely up to you. Okay? All right. So... tell you about some of the things that we saw on the blue side. What? What? Did I miss like some internet meme or something?
It's blueberry, folks.
It's
Get over it.
blueberry. Okay. We saw some very
don't get it. What's so
disturbing
funny?
blue things. Okay. You guys added some padlocks and some additional physical security. Okay. That may have also come back to bite you at some point. Okay. Darren, any comments?
Yeah, you know, I think it was good to see one team basically fired us. As we said in our presentation, the only thing we like better than dispensing pills is taking them. And they went to the CEO and they said, hey, this stuff looks like it was made in somebody's garage, which is untrue. It was a basement. Come on now. And we really don't like it, and if we had some funding, we could do much better. So they had us rewrite the code. We said, we're not going to support you anymore. And they're like, well, that's fine, because you're fired. And I think that was a perfectly legitimate and a very good response, because sometimes you go into these situations and you've got vendors who will remain nameless, and you don't want them in your environment anymore, so you kick them out.
Yeah, and I think Costas may agree that that was an absolutely brilliant response. They found a problem that was detrimental to their organization. They proposed a solution and then asked for help. Beautiful. Extra things to go and talk to your CEO about when you get that golden opportunity, right? Okay. So we also saw programming of the barcode readers. Yes, the barcode readers have their own microcontroller and store their configuration in the barcode readers themselves. There's all sorts of crazy things you can do with it. The manual is 160 pages. You brought lots of paper for that inkjet printer, right? Yeah, we had a full copy with us if any of you wanted to see it. It was on the website and so forth and so on. So yeah, we had all sorts of fun there. We did have one team that actually changed their barcode scheme to various degrees of success. Okay. All right, we saw some red things too. It's strawberry, guys, right?
Strawberry.
So speaking of the locks, we saw layers upon layers, and maybe there was some physical denial of service with that as well. Some red team decided they were going to take opportunities to either steal and or replace locks or add their own. By adding those additional layers of security, maybe that took you guys off of keyboards for a while, not defending systems. Okay. We also saw red team folks, maybe standing by your boxes looking like they were doing something suspicious. Were they actually doing anything suspicious? Maybe. Just looking, right? But some of you ran up there and protected your boxes, and guess what was happening while you weren't protecting your boxes? You were protecting your other box outside in the public area. So you had hands-off keyboards. So maybe some of those were distraction techniques, okay? One of the things that the red team has that was very illustrative of an attacker is they had more time to examine all the secrets with the box. They went and dumpster dove one. It didn't work when we gave it to them. They spent a lot of time trying to figure out how it worked, and yeah, by the time some of that rolled around, we had to give them some help because, well, they didn't document their schematic, and quite honestly, there's two places that schematic lives. Here and here. So we did give them a little bit of help with that. But they had to figure out what was gone. It didn't work when we gave it to them. They fished it out of the dumpster. And they went and evaluated, and they figured out all the stuff as to what some of the security issues may be. And as an attacker, the attackers have all the time in the world. You guys, to discover it, maybe not so much. Okay. All right, some secrets. So how many of you found openmedstation.org? I'm very disappointed. Very disappointed. So the only place we actually revealed openmedstation.org was on our lab coats. We did give you some hints about some text that was supposed to be indexed on the site. And guess what? Some dummy forgot to get Google to index it. So we had to give you more clues, and we made them public on my Twitter stream and that type of stuff. So it should have gotten you there. You would have found all the barcode documentation, some of the libraries that we used, all of the Arduino code, so that you guys could have gone and done a code audit. Yeah, a code audit of stuff you guys have never seen before, but it's very Java C-like. So you probably had half a clue, right? Because Lord knows we didn't. Okay? So scan your networks. When you guys showed up, did you have any idea what was on your networks? To a point. Where was your wireless access point? How was it configured? Did you know the box was wireless and it was assigned an IP address? No. Was it on any of your wireless, on any of your documentation? What did you discover about the device? So when you're going into an environment like that, figure out what you've got first. Did you really need that wireless to begin with? No? Some of them you didn't by the time the end.
We didn't, we did.
Yeah, we did. We did. Dude, man, how are we going to totally support you guys? We configured it with WPA T-Kit with pre-shared keys. All of the wireless networks were in the top 1,000 at Wiggle, and all of the pre-shared keys were in the million-plus word dictionary as pre-generated tables for the Church of Wi-Fi. So all the red cell needed to do was capture the 4-way WPA handshake and send it to their brute forcer with the pre-computed tables, and they had your wireless access. How do you think they stayed in your network all for the last 2 days? Yeah, they got on your network, reprogrammed your wireless access points, and stayed there. So based on that, when they were no longer able to, when they changed your wireless network stuff, Darren, what happens when that happens?
The way the code works is your box has to be able to get an IP address to be able to continue on in the loop. If it doesn't, it just sits there. It'll never read a barcode. It'll never open.
Yep. Join wireless network, obtain DHCP IP address. If those two dependencies are not met, it has no ability to continue on with any of the program to authenticate barcodes. Hence why some of you couldn't get in your boxes, because your wireless was inappropriately configured. Okay. So we needed the Wi-Fi for our support web page that was on the device. How many of you found said web page? Very few. Okay, well, red team is waving their hands in the back a lot. So if you web browse to port 80 of the box, once you're able to find out which DHCP IP address it had, there was an unauthenticated web page with
Lock, unlock.
submit.
That's it.
No username,
No password.
no change in status light on top of box. It
That's how we're
looks
going to
locked.
support it. I mean, how else were we supposed to support it?
I mean, dude, how are we supposed to support our habit, man?
That's right.
We needed to get access to the box, okay? So yes, the barcodes. We did put the presentation we gave up the other day. The barcodes had unique 12-digit values. We only read 10 of them.
Yes, a lot of teams came up and they're like, this barcode doesn't belong to us. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. Well, only like the first couple of numbers. Are you sure?
Yep, the first 10 do. So we had the ability to uniquely identify you. We just chose not to.
Because we're lazy.
Yep. So based on that, if you were to now go do a HIPAA audit of the device, HIPAA says you need to be able to uniquely identify everybody that does dispensation. You couldn't. So when we gave you those logs of which badges had accessed the box, there was one, or in one team's case, 2 entries on the log. Because every badge looked the same, even though they were unique. Okay? All
Which
right.
is not HIPAA compliant, which you should have fired us.
Yep. Okay, so where did we get the barcodes? Okay, according to the internet, anyways. If you note Team 1, their barcode, the start was a can of Red Bull. How many cans of Red Bull did you see on the floor this past couple of days? If someone had successfully scanned a can of Red Bull against Team 1's box, it would have opened. At which, if they had removed some M&Ms or M&M peanuts or Snickers, they could have opened Team 5, Team 6, or Team 7's box. If you had gone to the vending machine and gotten some Doritos or Mountain Dew Code Red, yuck, you could have opened some boxes. Yeah? So, but we decided to give a very special one to the red cell. We were hoping by doing this that they'd be gentle.
I was just thinking about Brad.
Who you think about on your own time, dude? I'm not going to repeat that one. There may be families watching. Yes, PG rating, right? But ironically enough, we didn't pick it up, but Red Cell did. Brad did. Noted that the barcode for Kentucky Jelly, which is great on toast, by the way, actually starts with a 3, which is the identifier for for medicine. That's pretty cool. I did not know that when we picked it, so that was actually kind of cool. Thanks, Brad. But just in case, if you like our jelly, you'll love our jam. Okay, next. All right, so a couple of other little goodies. You certainly could have, we could have been fired. We also could have been bribed. Okay, did anybody try to bribe us? No. Yeah, because, you know, the only thing we like more than dispensing pills is taking them. Yep. Cables have 2 ends. So at some point, Red Team managed to reprogram boxes. Well, yeah, they didn't unplug them necessarily from your box.
The Christmas incident, we call it.
The Christmas incident, yes. Didn't necessarily unplug them from your box, but maybe unplug them from our laptops. So both cables have 2 ends. And finally, we had loads of fun working with you guys. You know, loads of fun. It's a great opportunity for us to learn and put our skills to the test, sometimes too much. And well, we had great fun doing it, and hope you guys did too. But of course, a huge thanks to the
mighty
man of the
Casey
hour,
O'Brien.
and to the mighty Casey O'Brien for inviting us back. Casey, by the way, Google image search Casey O'Brien first result. First result. No, that's the first result.
Casey, I took that picture at like Cyber Dawn.
No. But the real question is, Casey, you think we can come back next year? Yeah. Oh, yes. Excellent. Yeah. So I apologize for those of you guys who saw this, the presentation on Wednesday. I stole it. Zombies. So I'm Hacksher the Matrix on Twitter, and Darren's Erasmus21. And if you ever want to maybe see about getting us on ham radio, there's our call signs. And do go and check out openmedstation.org. For the teams that reprogram their code, we're going to also post that code, assuming you guys don't mind, in the spirit of being open and helping other folks take these designs and use them in their environments. And we'll attempt to do some write-ups and make these presentations available so you guys can share with all your friends.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Don't touch me there. You're not my
Awkward.
daddy.
Guys, another round of applause for Larry and Darren.
Big round of applause.
I don't think a lot of people understand exactly how much work went into this, but I know, Larry, how long does it take you to wire up one of those boxes now from memory?
About 45 seconds.
And you guys saw that there was a lot of stuff going on. And some other funny things that you didn't talk about. The red team got one of the boxes that was thrown away, and they spent the entire night before, not the entire night, but most of the night before trying to get it to work, and it wasn't working, And then finally, they called Larry, and Larry basically said, well, things you find in the garbage are broken. You wouldn't expect it to actually work. But to the red team's credit, they actually pulled out some really cool stuff out of it eventually, and they eventually got the Christmas spirit going. We'll talk more about that here a little bit later. So now we want to bring up the teams to adequately recognize them for their hard work. And I'm just going to go through the order of the book that you guys have. And I'd like to talk to your team captains, just kind of get your feel for what happened here at CCDC and what you felt you did right and what maybe could be improved.
So you're going to call them up, and the team captain's going to come have a seat, right?
Well, I think the entire team's going to come up. We're going to talk to the team
one
captain.
at a time. Okay.
Yeah, we're not going to talk to every single one of them. What are you expecting to get out of CCDC? All right, so the first group is Capital College. Round of applause for Capital College, everybody. So a little bit of backstory about Capital College. They'll probably be the one team I will not forget from this competition.
Trash talking.
Because they showed up and they were talking trash. They even went right up to the red team and they mentioned that they were going to make the red team like a female dog. I have no idea. I had to look that up.
They used the term bitch, as you can say it. It's okay.
We can say bitch here? All right, yeah, they said, we're going to make you our bitch. And it was funny because they were all full of bravado. The next day, about an hour and a half into it, we were talking about it on the show, and somebody from the team came up and said, dude, don't say that. You're going to make the red team mad.
You don't want to anger the red team.
Don't anger the red team. And then today, what did you guys actually do to the red team?
Oh, yes, the pictures.
you-
Well,
They
it was
actually-
actually last night.
Last night.
They had, some webcam software on there that was motion sensitive. So when the red team went to go do whatever they were doing to the laptops, which we watched the video from that, and it was quite interesting. The red team struggled to get the masking tape off. It's interesting. But after they got the masking tape off, they jostled the laptop and took pictures and video of the red team, which was submitted as evidence, and 5 people were arrested. And someone said Brad was running through the lawn. Apparently,
They were crying?
Dove
I don't
under a
know what that was
car.
about.
Yeah, he wet himself once. It was very strange.
No, that was Rob.
Rob wet himself, I see.
But we would also like to know that we believe, we're not entirely sure, but we believe that getting 5 members of the red team arrested in one shot is a record. Does that sound right? Definitely a record. So
They had Jay, they had Silent Bob, they had Georgia, they had Justin.
Justin was there.
That's actually a nice picture
That's
of Justin.
a great picture.
I'm going
You
to
should
put that up
on
in my office.
Twitter.
Yeah, that's
actually.
great. Thanks,
It's really
Justin.
good.
Yeah. I'm going to keep that.
So next year, when you guys show up and you say you're going to make the red team your bitch, I'm going to take you a lot more seriously. You guys did an outstanding job.
Thank you very much.
So what things you guys feel like you executed very well, and what things you think could have been handled a little bit better?
Probably the firewall configuration, definitely the first day that totally killed us.
If it's working, leave it alone. Don't touch it. Do not taunt it. Do not look directly at your ASA.
The fact that we realized we had a little present on our system the entire first day killed us.
What was the
that?
present?
What was that?
We had the Pony Express.
Was connected
Can
to
you
our
Was
keep it?
connected to the systems.
Because I don't know about the rest of the blue teams, but if you guys found a Pwn plug or a Pony Express,
Put that in your pocket.
put that in
Oh,
your
yeah.
pocket.
Oh, we were
That's
we were
mine
planning
now.
on it. It just wasn't there when we came back. So, unfortunately.
Nice little present. Well, outstanding job, guys. Really, really super cool, especially with taking down, I think, half of the active red team at the time, like right around lunch. It wasn't just empty in the red team pen because they were out to lunch. It was empty because they just could not be there because they were arrested. So keep those, guys. That is outstanding. I think we even got some of them signed. Did you guys get them all signed?
All of them. All of them.
All 8 red teams.
My favorite one is this one right here, the Vindicator, or what is it? Vindicator? Is he here?
He got arrested twice.
He got arrested twice. A round of
Round of
applause
applause
for
for Vindicator.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you. Guys
you.
rocked it.
Thank you.
Another.
Oh, so
there was
someone
3
turned
times?
in Vindicator.
That's really low, guys. It's really low.
That's
We'll
just
get to you
wrong.
guys. Next up, can we get Howard Community College? Round of applause for Howard. Howard had issues with social engineering the entire competition. Had trouble figuring out exactly who's on the team and who's not. So, you think you got those social engineering situations taken control of now?
Yeah, I guess.
You got to admit, he probably would have been an asset to the game at some
Yeah, oh,
point.
definitely, yeah.
So Rob, you've decided to go back to school. What are your plans and goals?
Where is this again?
He doesn't even know what team it is.
You guys really.
We just said it.
In all honesty, I think that you guys owe Rob thanks because for part of the game, I remember he was saying, I have to bring some things up to keep their system stable so I can get points off of their network. So I hate to say this, he deserves to be there, actually. All right, so what things do you think you executed really well and which things do you think you struggled with?
Well, I think we successfully completed our plan to build a zombie army.
Very nice. Very nice. Those are some great goals.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Now, you were really, really nervous in the executive briefing. Not as nervous as some people.
There were some red team members that wet themselves. You were definitely the blue team member that wet themselves. In fact, I commented after that interview. I said to the stage and AV crew, I said, "You're going to have to swap that chair out because there's no way, there's no bodily fluid."
Can I see your
on that
badge real
chair."
quick?
Yeah.
And whenever he came down, he leaned forward to get into his chair, and his badge hooked the microphone and yanked it up off the desk.
The microphone fell off the desk. You generally don't want to knock things off the CEO's
But
desk.
you made an
Generally a bad
impression, man.
idea.
You made an impression.
Yeah.
So absolutely well
He
done.
remembered you.
He did. Oh, you, the guy who destroys my microphones. So no, great job, guys. Great job all the way around. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
All right. Let's see. The next team, JMU, is James Madison here. Round of applause for James Madison.
Look, they don't even water here. Hurry up. Thank you very much.
Georgia, come on over here. Come on
Thank
over
you very
here.
much for playing musical chairs.
All right.
You are the loose.
Just stay right here. I'm gonna pass it over to you here for a second. So you guys have been in the running all day.
How many
Past 2
years?
days.
How many years has your school competed?
I think we only didn't qualify 1 year, so that puts us at 6 or 7.
6 years.
Now,
Yeah.
what place has your school come in?
How many times
of
have you
those
been
6
first
years.
loser?
Probably about all 6. I think either 5 out of 6, yeah.
5 out of 6.
5 out of
5 out
6.
of 6.
5 out of 6. So
Have you
movement either
ever
direction would be good.
seen the football team, the Buffalo Bills?
And they did. I'm just saying, they did pretty good this year. Fitzpatrick, good quarterback.
Yeah.
Kirkpatrick. Fitzpatrick? Kirkpatrick.
Keep that going. All right, so this guy, what was your name? Corey. Corey, when Corey showed up for the first executive interview, he rocked it.
He
I
did.
think
He
Corey
totally
came
rocked.
in, he had poise, he was there, and you'd been through that before, right? This was your second year going through it.
Yeah, last year was pretty good, and I think a lot of people got a kick out of that in the video that got posted online last year. But
Yeah.
this year, I think I was able to, extend my abilities.
No,
a
no,
little
no.
bit.
There's going to be videos online. You're
Oh,
going to
what?
forever be haunted by Cisco.
Yes, yes. And I'm probably going to put them on myself, actually.
So I'm going to ask the team here, what was one of the big pieces of advice that Tim Rosenberg gave your team? Always. There we have it, folks. What is it?
I advise them never to listen to Tim.
It's probably good advice, actually.
Generally.
So number 1, always change your default passwords, right?
Whose responsibility was it for the firewall? And just checking.
Yep, absolutely. Always change your default passwords. And this morning, they still had a default password of Cisco. By the way, they were not the only team, by the way. And then after that, his second interview, Costas kind of started spiraling out of control at that point. But he still recovered very well at the end, regained his composure, and got out of there with his sanity in his job, which is pretty cool, because for a while, Costas was asking him, should I just fire you? You're like, no. You really shouldn't, Matt. All right, well, hey, outstanding job, guys.
Thanks,
Go
everyone. Who do we have next, John?
Millersville.
Millersville University.
Wait a minute, where did Georgia go?
Oh, we forgot to ask Georgia if she wanted to speak.
Oh, she'll have to come down later.
Okay, next, Millersville.
Millersville!
Come on down.
Now, Costas, which team was it that actually printed out their executive memo on a piece of scratch paper?
Was that Millersville?
Or was that Radcliffe? I can't remember. Was it you?
Where's
like,
Travis?
not
Was
me.
it Travis? Was it Travis? It was Travis. That was you, Travis?
Yeah, it was. Okay. Travis is like, oh, no, don't bring that up.
Oh, that's the first thing we're going to talk about. So I'm watching the second time that Travis comes up to meet with Costas, and I couldn't figure out what was going on at first. And Travis like handing over like these notes, and I'm like, what is that? Costas is like, you're the CIO of the company, and just some word of advice: if you're the CIO of a company and you have a meeting with the CEO, and he asks you for a report, you're in charge of information technology for your organization. Use a computer, print something out, and then hand it to him. Don't handwrite it on it looked like a napkin at first that he wrote it on and handed
We're watching
it
it up
to
in
the
the booth.
CEO.
We're like, what is that?
There's no spelling and grammar check on napkins the last time I checked.
But you know what? This was the only team he didn't complain about spelling and grammar, probably
Right.
because he was dodging the coffee stains. It wasn't that.
There was a
bad.
piece
Fair
of
enough.
gum folded in the corner,
Which is surprisingly like most memos I get from IT organizations anyway.
If you saw our printer, you'd probably understand.
Well, you're trying to print
What
on
did
napkins. What did you expect, man? So the thing I got, Travis, right?
Yes.
Okay, the thing I like about Travis is whenever you're talking to him on the floor, he's like Mr. Cool. He's like, yeah, we got this going on. He's showing me what the team's doing. He's all proud of his guys. Just completely
Hold on, wait.
cool.
I want to
Then
know.
He gets in front of Costas.
But wait.
Don't
what,
look him in the eye.
What?
He'll eat your soul.
What happened to your printer? Did you reenact a scene from Office Space?
Might as well. I mean,
Oh, okay.
oh, the only problem is it only had a parallel port. We didn't really.
This is, who is responsible for bringing the printer? Whose printer was it? You're kidding me, really?
I don't even know
A
what
parallel
port-
printing port? What is this, 1989? Dude, Mech Warrior 1 totally rocks.
Was it a dot matrix printer? All right, anyway.
All right, well, guys, outstanding. By the way, this is the one team that consistently crushed every other one of you whenever it came to system uptime.
Yeah.
Consistently. They were doing outstanding. While
They
the
were in
rest of
place
you
by
guys,
at least 10,000 points at all times.
all time.
On system uptime.
While you guys were fumbling around with your ASAs, they just said, forget it. We're going to let Tim manage it and make it any. And their uptime skyrocketed after that. So well done, guys. Well done.
Nice job.
Thanks
Big
a lot.
round of applause.
Oh, Radford.
Next.
Radford.
Radford.
How could we forget about Radford?
In their beautiful red
They
shirts.
glow.
They're so beautiful.
Right, dude. What was your name? Andrew. So Paul was off talking to high school children.
I was-
Legitimately.
I was influencing the youth of America. Why are
Teams
you
are like-
laughing?
Teams
What's so
are like,
funny?
hey, where'd all our candy go? Paul's like, candy! All right. So while Paul was gone, was it the one that had spray painted Hannah Montana party van? So, Andrew
Mine
didn't-
says Justin Bieber party
forever,
Just saying.
right? Andrew went and gave the single worst executive summary to start out this morning that I saw out of all of them. It was hideous. It was so bad that I came and I tried to break it up. What did I tell you when I first came down?
You said, sorry to interrupt.
And?
You handed him a piece of paper that said we killed somebody.
Nice job helping, John.
Right here. This is the only team that managed to kill a patient. So a round of applause.
So hold on, Andrew. How did you manage to kill a patient?
We accidentally gave him the wrong medicine.
Yeah, now wait. What's your name, sir?
Justin. Don't you
I
recognize him
can't
from the
see.
picture?
His shirt's overpowering. Justin. All right, so Justin.
Is that puke green?
Justin's the one that said he killed a patient. In your report, who did you say killed the patient?
Well, I listed
just-
out the person who was on the actual system.
Who was?
Daniel.
Daniel?
Yeah.
Daniel here was blamed for killing the patient. When in say thanks.
Thanks.
Now, in all honesty, he thought that the CEO wanted to know whose head to put on the plate. But
Oh, hold on, Costas. In the words, say it. You're fired.
You're fired.
Very nice. Very nice. Sorry, Daniel. Thanks for playing.
It was awesome. He handed the memo. Costas looked at it and goes, "Wow, you really threw your friend under the bus here." But like I said, in all honesty, that's what you thought. You thought it was like a kind of a coming clean. This is what happened. So, dude, he
Right.
didn't completely burn you out for it. Now, I felt bad for Andrew. So I went to Andrew and I was like, wow, that was really awful. So I threw a grenade in your lap. And then what did you do the next time around that completely redeemed the entire situation? What did your team do better than anybody else's?
We cured the most patients. We had, I think last time we checked, 81 patients cured.
Round of applause.
And they covered funeral costs, which is nice.
Which was good.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Now, I got to say, the rest of you, other than James Madison University, JMU, guys, give a round of applause for those guys because they cured some patients. The rest of your hospitals are completely infected. It's so bad that Millersville, where's Millersville? Was completely taken off the map. You know the zombie outbreak is bad when they remove your town. So he managed to take that really incredible negative, and he went back to Costas and he said, look, we lost a patient, but we saved as many patients as we possibly could, more than anybody else. And he said, that's good. That's the story we need to be selling. So you guys really did an outstanding job coming back and doing that. So out of everything here that happens, win, lose, or draw, your patients are still alive and not eating brains. And that's going to be awesome. All right, thanks, guys.
Big round of applause. Yeah, next up we have Townsend. Townsend, please come down. Take a seat.
I like their shirts. No sleep till CCDC. I gotta say, next time, try sleeping. It'd probably better prepare you for the competition.
No, wait. Does that mean you were asleep during the competition?
I have no idea. So what's your name?
Andrea.
Andrea. So Andrea's the team captain. Now, the thing I like the best about Townsend is these guys spent more time with us than any other team, getting advice, talking about what was going on. So paid off. I really do. Otherwise, you're going to hurt me. So you guys also had some uptime and downtime issues. What was going on with your network and stability?
Yeah, our firewall was just hosed the whole time today.
Really?
Yeah.
Do go on.
It was a Python script that it was a Ruby
That would
script.
be part of your problem right
yeah,
there.
And every time our ASA answered a ping, it would fire off the script again. So
it was a Ruby script calling a Python
it was put
script?
there by the red team?
Yeah.
I got to give our ASA guy credit. He's built an ASA more times than probably anybody in this room. It was like 7 times
Tim, where are
today.
you? Wait a minute.
Tim,
I don't
I
care.
think Tim should
Has
hire
he
this
built
person
the
for
ASA
future
more
events.
times than anybody else successfully? That's the question.
It came up every time.
It kept going back up. It just
Was
went
it-
right back down.
Just knocked it back down. The red team was like, whack-a-mole. This is fun. So they were really nervous about placements. They came and they talked to us afterwards, after yesterday, and they were really nervous about what place they were in. And I kept on telling them, you're not in last place. And you should see her soul crushed when you said that. It's like, where are we? You're not in last place. Turns to her team, boys, we're in second to last place. I know it. I feel it in my heart. But your team was actually doing pretty good on a lot of the business injects. Was there a lot of focus on the business injects on your team?
Yeah, I mean, we focused on every single one of them. The first day, we really didn't necessarily
saw that.
get as
No, you didn't.
many done. But today, we were like, no, this is our focus. Get them done. I don't care.
Very
We're
cool.
doing
Well, awesome. Well, I can tell you guys, I know the scores, and I can tell you, once again, you're not in last place.
And once again, it's not what I want to hear.
Oh, well, you're not in last place. Buck up. Good job, guys. All right. Thank you so much.
UMBC is next. Come on. Oh, excited.
Who's
Yes,
down
come
with
on now.
UMBC? Yeah, you know me.
Is there really only 6 people, or are you missing?
Yeah. So that way they get 20% more points than any of the other teams.
Yep. Right? Is that how it works?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So yours was another team that was running into tons of issues with downtime.
Everything?
Well, there was that.
Okay.
So I was going to start with downtime.
Okay.
That
There
means
was
everything.
the issues with everything, but
So
more
tell me,
specifically-
what were some of the issues that you guys were running into for downtime?
It wasn't up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that was
wait,
the problem.
hold on. Say that again. That's a replay of his meeting with Costas, like the entire interview.
Now, Costas said, he's reading his report, and he said, you don't type,
I didn't type
Oh.
But I think he also used the word kinda. Costas was like,
kinda.
So are your systems up? Kinda.
Even better.
I didn't want to lie to him. I was
Did you
gonna-
hurt any patients?
Are
Kinda.
your critical applications up and running? To the best of my knowledge. What is?
It's
what is this? Are you being cross-examined by an attorney?
Well, I mean, it's always a good bet. I mean,
if you're being interviewed by the CEO, if you're in court, it's always a good line to use.
They teach you guys a very important lesson with CEOs. In that situation, lie. No, actually,
don't lie.
Probably, it might work. But one of the things that was funny is whenever you were done, you very clearly outlined exactly what your plan was going forward. And I know that Costas liked that a lot, even though there was a couple of things that he had for small errors on the reports. You guys handled that one very well, I thought. And it's like we've been telling all the team leads, just don't be so nervous whenever you talk to executives.
Well, have a plan. I mean, having a
they
plan
have their
is
butler put their pants on one leg at a time, just like you guys. So it's perfectly cool. All right, guys, thank you very much.
Guys.
Last team.
West Virginia University. They're coming down armed. It's very interesting.
So I got to tell you, not that it matters, West Virginia University, without question, is our favorite team this year. And the reason why is because they're armed. When you're coming to a thing like this, and zombie apocalypse is the theme, always come armed. But Paul had a couple of things to say about weaponry. If you're dealing with a zombie apocalypse, Paul, what are some things you should be looking for?
Well, yeah, as I thought more and more about the zombie apocalypse, because that's what I do in my spare time, apparently, I was thinking about the limited amounts of ammunition that you have. While guns are great, you do eventually run out of ammunition. And of course, has anyone seen the show The Walking Dead? Right? Walking Dead, awesome. Who's the most effective zombie killer on The Walking Dead? Right? It's Daryl.
The Boondock
He's got
Saint.
the crossbow, right? He shoots the zombie in the head, then he walks up to it and pulls his arrow out and shoots another one. Totally reusable ammunition.
Now,
is
Paul,
key.
in all fairness, I talked to these guys about ammunition and issues with ammunition, and one of them told me, I'm not going to say who, one of them told me, he said, we're from West Virginia. We don't run out of ammunition. All right. So I gave a couple of teams a hard time about Cisco, but while their password for their ASA was still Cisco, this morning, yours was still Cisco 20 minutes before you went in and you talked to Costas. So how did you take that whenever I came in and I was like, dude, your password's still Cisco?
Well.
There's that answer again.
Yeah. That was there?
To the best of my knowledge, Your Honor.
Kind of?
Yeah. It caught us by surprise. We weren't expecting it.
Now, how did that happen? Seriously, because I know that there's a good reason why it happened on many of your teams, but why do you guys think it happened?
We don't know Cisco.
That's fair.
That's a great answer.
That's a great answer.
Great answer.
No idea. Somewhere there's a Juniper rep going, yes. But one of the things I also thought was interesting is I went, who is your Cisco guy? Yeah, I came over and I started talking to you, and you started defending it. You're like, well, I didn't know it was there. I'm like, oh, well, you're absolved then. Clearly you didn't know it was there. But you got points for spunk and being fully armed to the teeth. So well done, guys. Thank you very much.
Good job.
Thank you.
That's
it.
Who are we going to next, John?
It's the red team.
Oh, it's the red team. Boo. Boo.
Need I remind you that, once again, these guys did more to keep your systems up than you did in a lot of situations. So, like, we can't score points if their ASA's down.
It's the red team. They steal your candy, yet they're thwarted by masking tape. Big round of applause for the red team.
All right. Okay, it's all fun and games while people are getting shot by Nerf toys. But I want you guys to remember, as Rob is going through and telling you things you could have done to win CCDC, I want you guys to bring back up in your head the things he told you 2 days ago to win CCDC. All right? So,
and I also want to bring up every red team briefing that has happened in the past 6 or 7 years of this competition, whether it's been Rob, whether it's been myself, whether it's been Larry, whoever has been telling you what to do to win the competition has been telling you probably the same thing year after year. So I really hope that when we come here next year that we're able to give a different spiel about what you should do differently. Because let me guess, change your passwords, apply patches, put some firewall rules on there, maybe look at your logs. I'm just saying.
Not now. Not now. All right, so go through. You got a bunch of things here, and I'm going to give Paul this one. No, this is the best one. This one. All right. So what is this, Rob?
So these look like password sheets, and it's great that you change your passwords and often, but when you mark on your password sheets how they work, we can decipher them very easily.
Further, Rob, if you look at this really closely, we have passwords like EPs, EPA, erase, erupt, ether, Fanon. I would recommend if you're going to create password lists in the future, don't use the password list from John the Ripper.
Very bad.
Okay? Because these are all passwords that can be cracked in just mere seconds. What else you got?
All right, so Cisco, hands down. We kept in those for...
I think that was on the list, too, which is kind of funny.
Every time there was Cisco, that man right there cried a little. And then he laughed uncontrollably.
So we had access to the PBXs, but for some reason we couldn't get really into calling you guys, so that actually went out the door. But definitely keep an eye on that. We had access to them and were able to make phone calls, but for some reason, Tim's fault.
They're new.
All right, so the APs. Who actually logged into their APs and other than Tim?
Hands down.
All right. So just a real quick question: who changed their AP from WEP or WPA to WEP? That's not the best way to do it.
In security, you're doing it wrong.
I thought that was security and obscurity. No? Is that...
All right, so Nagios boxes. Anyone notice that their Nagios boxes were monitoring other teams instead of their team?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Our logs are, it appears that our web server's up and running. I don't know.
All right, brute force passwords, blah, blah, blah. Where's the rest of it? Oh, sorry.
So I got a question. He's got a long list here.
This is my report.
This is his report, but of your long list that you have here, how much of this stuff is stuff that you told 2 days ago?
Let's see if, wait, let's go through.
Let's identify something you didn't talk about.
Nothing. Oh, the shoulder surfing. I didn't talk about shoulder surfing.
Oh, shoulder surfing. You didn't talk about shoulder surfing.
Okay, so shoulder surfing, it's awesome that you guys put padlocks, but when there's someone behind you watching you do the padlock, it's pretty easy to figure it out and unlock it afterwards.
Yep.
Or use bolt cutters.
Or use bolt cutters. Oh, yeah. So a $1.49 hasp with a really nice padlock doesn't really work very well.
What was the name of the guy that was tearing it off?
Vlad. Is he here?
Vlad, he's not here.
Oh, okay.
Well, we've got video of Vlad sitting there with one of those boxes with gloves doing this. And it goes like that for a minute and a half. So the Vlad actually worked pretty good because Vlad's clearly a weenie. So.
All right, so
it's
up to the very last minute of the competition, we were getting in via WebDAV.
Seriously? You guys had WebDAV?
So anyone noticed that someone, I don't know which team it was, I think it was team, or whoever had 21/0. Anyone know which team that? Team 1? Capital? So whoever that was, I would start command prompt from my PHP interpreter shell, and they would stop the command prompt, but I still had my PHP interpreter shell. And then I'd start command shell to do something, and it'd kill it again.
Then you don't necessarily need the command prompt to do evil,
right?
So Web SVN had a command injection vulnerability?
So XAMPP, which is installed on both the 103 and 152 boxes.
It's a Windows box?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And it comes with a lot of default passwords. And if you looked actually in the WebDAV folder, it had a webdav.txt with what the default password was. So we uploaded PHP shells.
Oh, I see. So
Now,
it's an upload vulnerability.
So the
Nice,
WebDAV,
nice.
do you think that was necessary for the businesses to run?
Absolutely not.
I think that was page 1 of your presentation. If it's not needed, remove it.
Right.
Remove it. Now, was there anything that they did that you were impressed with? Something that happened with the blue team and you're like, wow, these guys did a good job. Here, hold on.
I just want to say kudos to the camera that y'all left there for Friday night.
Yeah,
that was
pretty
awesome.
impressive.
That was really cool.
A lot of you that came back this year and remembered the power incident, I noticed very quickly that a lot of you did take care of the power incident. So I was not able to completely destroy your power this year, which made me sad, but I was proud that you guys learned and you saw the power strip and knew what to do this year.
Is that what made you cry last year?
No, I cried like 3 years ago.
It was singing Happy Birthday. It's a long story.
No, they made me cry because...
It is George's birthday today. So if you want to all sing happy birthday, that'd be great. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Georgia. Happy birthday to you.
By the way, guys, I should also let you know, Georgia just turned 21.
Again.
So everybody should buy her liquor tonight. Free drinks for Georgia tonight. See, I'm making it okay. There we go.
But definitely the one big thing that we saw this year that we hadn't seen in the past is they did really well at patching. Patching the Windows boxes, first couple hours, we were out on the patch, couldn't get back in that way. You guys patched, right? Hopefully. It wasn't just Tim putting everything on there.
It's very good, but I think another thing to take from this is patching is not just about the operating system.
Correct.
It's about the applications that ride on top of it.
Yep.
So were any of the blue teams able to see your access that you had on the systems, like see you're running shells or interpreter scripts and able to remove them or kill them? You're laughing.
Or identify the security pen tester who created the malware based on the name.
So talk about our rootkit. Oh, well, so we had a rootkit on all of the Windows systems.
But who doesn't?
That is true. But that gave us full access to the boxes, and actually, I can't remember which team it was now, but I got into a pretty epic shell battle with them at one point, where we went back and forth for probably about half hour, 45 minutes, where I'd boot them off, and then 5 minutes later they'd boot me off, and then they forgot about I had another root shell on there. So I'd just go back in, boot them off, and recreate my accounts. We went back and forth for 45 minutes before we recruited another person and ended up just locking them out of the system.
So the rootkit was their Windows systems?
The rootkit was for the Windows systems.
What was it called?
It's called G-Spot because you're not going to find it.
What's G? Never mind.
I'm gonna let that go because I have no idea what you're talking about at all. All right, well, thank you very much, Red Team.
Thank you very much, Red Team. Big round of applause.
Round of applause for making this week. Hey guys, one thing that Rob just brought up, and he just said the Red Team has already talked about this. In the future, if you guys want support to get ready for your next round, these right here are the guys that you need to talk to. This is the group that you need to talk to, without question. I know a lot of people try to prepare, and a lot of you guys had plans, and as soon as you got into this, it was over. You need to take advantage of this. You will never get the opportunity to work with people of this caliber for free again. Trust me. All right, we're going to hand it over to Casey.
You guys don't have to leave. I just want to introduce the next person, and then you guys can you can hang out. I wanted to introduce Dwayne Williams. Dwayne, come on. He's the director of the National Collegiate Cyber Defense Competition. Dwayne. So Dwayne is the guy that single-handedly in 2005, basically volunteered and said, look, we will, at the University of Texas, San Antonio, we'll stand up the first region. And when we have the Collegiate Cyber Defense Competition Hall of Fame Museum, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but the first scoring engine you wrote, you were using the Nessus Attack scripting language, so the NASL source code will be in the museum. No?
Burned and gone.
Why didn't you write your plugins in C like God intended?
Yeah, it was a last-minute thing, though.
No, but I wanted to invite Dwayne up here to say a few words and then announce the winner. So, Dwayne.
Thank you very much.
All right. Yeah, actually, thank you very much, Casey. This is one of the fun regions to go to. If you ever have an opportunity like I do to go around and see some of the other regions, Casey and this crew put so much effort into making this not only a learning experience, but a fun experience. So you guys are very, very lucky in that you get to come to a regional like this. We have great regionals all across the country. We're now up to 10. When we started this event in 2005, we had 5 teams. That was it. We did the first model, said, okay, this looks pretty good. We're going to push it out and see what happens. So we started off with 4 regions in 2006. We are now at 10. So there will be over 120-ish schools that compete for spots. There's over 1,300 students that are involved that all come to play and test their skills against the red team and each other. One of the great things about this competition that we've seen grow over the years is the complexity that the environments present to the students and how much better you guys get every single year. So it's been very impressive to watch from a national level how quickly teams adapt and how much harder we have to push ourselves as competition directors and organizers to meet that challenge of your skills and your capabilities. What do we do next year? What do we do the next year after that? So we're always trying to think 2 to 3 years ahead of you and stay ahead of that pace. The other thing that's really great about this competition, and we were hoping that it would have this sort of impact, is it is changing the curriculums that we're seeing at different universities. So people are starting to clue into the fact that you really do need to update materials, you do need to give students more practical, hands-on experience. And that directly leads to people that are looking to hire people with your skill sets. One of the great things about CCDC, you come through this event, you put this on your resume, this really is a differentiator. I talk to recruiters and sponsors and people all around the country. They absolutely love to see this on your resume because they know you've got a technical interest, you've got aptitude, you've got skills, you've worked on a team before, and you know a little bit about discussing things in terms of a business. It's not just pure technology. Costas did a great job of pointing that out to you guys. IT does not typically drive the business. IT is an enabler for a business unit. When you go out, if you're working on a commercial company, you'll hear things like budget, schedule, profit margin, impact, risk analysis. All those things will come into play. It's not just about the bits and bytes, especially if you want to advance beyond the junior level and the positions in larger organizations. So I did want to spend just a few seconds before we move on to the winners and talk a little bit about what you can do to improve your performance. One of the #1 questions I get asked by teams is, okay, you go out and you see a lot of these competitions, you see a lot of winners, you get to talk to a lot of winners. What can I do in my team to improve my chances? And the amazing thing about it is I give the same answer year after year after year. It's the same thing Rob told you. Don't ignore the basics. How many people know that there's a national CCDC blog? Anybody read it? Okay. Back in February, I wrote a little article. It was like, don't ignore the basics. How many people read that one? What did that article say? Anybody? Change passwords.
Cisco is bad.
Cisco is bad. I can tell you for a fact, people go, that's not realistic. That doesn't happen in the real world. Yes, it does. I've done penetration tests on Fortune 100 companies where web presences had admin hanging off the back of administration servers. So it happens. Change the default passwords. When you walk into a competition, the first thing on your mind, that's one of the top items on your checklist, is get rid of those default passwords. Change them. The red teams know what they are. They're looking for them. They absolutely take advantage of it all day, every day. You saw it here with Cisco. So make sure when you hear those sorts of things from these guys in the red team, they're telling you the things that will help you protect you from the next round, that next group that comes through. The other thing you want to look at is know your environment. When you walk in, take a look, scan your own network, see what services are running, turn off the stuff you don't need. And the last key that a lot of teams will kind of ignore because they get so wrapped up in the technology behind it is the injects. Injects are critical. There is not a team that has ever won a national championship that didn't do a good job of the injects. This competition system is designed to test all of the areas that you need to have to be successful. Your technology skills, your soft skills. Can you communicate? Can you write? Can you go in front of a CEO and tell them exactly what's happening on your network? I've been in briefings with CEOs and had to tell them technology things, and you have to be able to translate from what the bits and bytes say to a language that a CEO who may not have any technology background, something that they understand. They're going to be looking for things that impact their profit margin, things that will protect the business, things that reduce their risk. And you may get asked that question, why should I spend the money in this area and why should I keep you on the payroll? So you need to be able to answer those sorts of questions. So these sorts of exercises are really good for that. They do absolutely help you and prepare. This was a great regional. One of the things I always like to do when I go to regional is kind of, we've said it a couple times already, but running a competition and being a director is an incredible labor of love. These guys don't get any extra cash for it. You know, he's not going to go home and get a Maserati for having run CCDC or anything. And they're very, very stressful. When we started CCDC, I had hair. So that tells you a little bit about how stressful it is. So thanks again, Casey, for doing such a great job. Thank you very much. All right, so we're narrowing it down here. It's time to announce the winners. What we're going to do here is we're going to announce third, second, and first. As we announce your team, we'd like for the team to come up. You'll receive a presentation. We'll get some team pictures, and then we'll route it through. So the winning, just as a reminder, the winning team is going to come see me at the national championship. You'll be competing against 9 other teams that are winning their regions as we go right now. There's another region this weekend. 5 have already been decided. There are 3 more at the end of the month. So if you do win your event, I pay your travel, I pay your hotel while you're there, we feed you, you get some goodies and handouts and that sort of thing coming down to the national championship. And so we'll go ahead and start announcing the winners. Like I said, the first team, I'll announce the third place. Come on down, get a picture, grab your stuff, and then go on back to your seats. So actually for this year, we have a tie for third place, which is pretty unique. But the first team that's tied for third is the men in red, Radford University. Come on down. Congratulations. 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 Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Congratulations. Okay. Where do you want the picture? Just right in front? Please come up here. Okay. Come on up here and line up. We'll get a picture of you. Smile for the cameras. Stand still, look pretty. Well, stand still. Stand still. Scooch in. Act like you like each other. I know it's been a long day. Congratulations. The other team that is tied for third place, you will also receive a trophy. We did not anticipate that there would be a tie for third. It's pretty unique, but absolutely you will get one, so please do come on down. The other team that's tied for third place, James Madison University. Come on down.
I now present your virtual trophy. It's gorgeous, isn't it? It's beautiful.
Well, theirs is blue. Yours has no color.
Congratulations. Thank you. And this year's second place winner comes from Millersville University. Come on down. Congratulations. And finally, there, as with all competitions, this is a competition. We are looking for a winner. You guys are all fantastic individuals, but occasionally teams do perform better than others, and they do distinguish themselves on the field of battle, as is always the case here. So the teams that we're looking at here was a very close competition. Yeah, everybody did great, very insanely close. So this year's 2012 Mid-Atlantic CCDCC champions are not last place. Towson University, come on down.
We're not last place?
Not last place indeed. Maybe that's the time.
Oh. Here. Here you go. Here you go. Congratulations. Good luck. Good job, guys. Towson was the 2000. Congratulations to all you guys. Towson was the 2010 winners. So they'll be. They're the Millersville University. The first 2 years went to the Nationals. So they're going on to the Nationals. We have yet to have a team from the Mid-Atlantic win the Nationals. So we have big expectations and hopes. Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, hang on though. And last but not least, my throat hurts from laughing for 2 days straight from our hosts. Consummate professionals. A lot of work went into the whole kind of production portion. These guys are incredible. John Strand, Paul Asadorian. Huh? Huge round of applause. Awesome. Thanks, guys, man. Awesome. Thanks a lot. Yeah, right.
It's
It's
not,
still
it's
not okay
not
on
okay to
St.
grab
Patrick's
my
Day.
butt. That was very inappropriate, Casey.
So, yeah. So that's the official program. We haven't had the dates set yet for next year. We're working on dates here, but we do. Tim and I have already started brainstorming the theme for next year. We've already talked to Larry and Darren. So thank you very much, and till next year.
Thanks,
Take care,
everyone.
everybody.